And I'll choose grow every time.
At least 4 billion useless eaters will be eliminated by the year 2050.
Whenever a truth is heard, there's no going back. You are the main character in the video game of life.
I personally don't believe anything they say, right down to the God they claim we worship.
I'm still waiting for somebody to show me gas pressure without a container.
None of the math adds up.
You could stack up all their math books, all their science books, and even put all their degrees stacked up on top of that, and you still wouldn't be high enough to see the curvature.
This is exactly why grounding is so important.
It's all dualistic.
We see too far.
We're just regular people who know we're being lied to. We're tired of it.
The bottom line is, there's only one choice left, and that's to dismantle this whole thing from the top down.
We're fucking late, aren't we?
We are. But here we are.
Fashionably.
Oh, for sure, fashionably.
So let's just go right to it. Go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Check out the Phone Booth merch and Phone Booth episodes and a bunch of other stuff over there. And also check out Spotify, Phone Booth Podcast on Spotify. And also go to canambullion.com. Canambullion.com to get gold, silver, platinum, coins, bars, and bullion. Right, Ted? Bullion. Yeah, so go there. Great stuff. Canambullion.com. Check it out. And then we got this motherfucker.
Yeah.
What's up, Jacob?
Well, we are now going to welcome the rest of America to a festival of rage once again. And Anna Paulina Luna will start with her. And
Hold on. I gotta ask you first.
Sure.
I gotta ask you first, because you gotta remember, we're trying to reach new people here. Maybe some people don't know who you are. Tell people who you are and how you got as intermingled in all of this as you are, like your path that led you to here.
Sure. I was the youth chairman for Fred Thompson, the actor. Remember him? Arthur Branch ran for president in 2008. I was his youth chairman nationally. Teenage Republicans after that. Congresswoman Sandy Adams after that. Roger Stone. Guys, I survived Mueller. I survived 3 other federal grand juries where it's called you go in, you tell the truth, you don't run your mouth, you don't rat. That's what it's called. There used to be honor among thieves in the sense that when you're down with the get down, you don't have a double jointed vaginal event where, oh God. Oh. So that's just a simple fact. So if we want to start an Anna Paulina Luna because she thinks she's going to be going to outer space because she's a Messianic Jew or Mormon, she's Hispanic, or actually, who's the guy?
And this is you, right, Jacob, with Roger Stone, right?
Oh, it is. I mean, guys, it's all on the internet. It would be very hard for me to reverse engineer and make this up, would it not? So my core issue is I've been nice, and I don't do these queer, leaking in my text messages and pull the shit like Rob Smith of Log Cabin Republicans, the black, who, I didn't get my $30,000 paycheck this month, so now I'm a Democrat and MAGA's racist. And then that worked for about 3 months, and now he's back eating crumpet, having crumpet party. No.
Jacob, can I ask you this?
Yes.
Were you a Trumper, or are you a Trumper, or were you a Trumper? What's the status on that? So we can get a picture of where you stand.
I mean, I was a Rand Paul kind of guy.
Okay.
And that was before Rand Paul had his own vaginal event. But Donald Trump was nothing more than a means to an end, and the simple fact that the Bush Clinton two-party duopoly, the endless. We'll do this. Anyone likes Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The wheel just keeps turning year after year on the backs of the poor, on the backs
That is
of
true.
people who don't have power. And I will break that wheel. I'm not Daenerys Targaryen, but I'm going to have my own flame out. And maybe I get Dragon Baby. Maybe I have Dragon Egg. And maybe it all works out. But what more? And so I'll do a Fuentes thing. What's a boy to do? What am I to do? Mr. Poopan, Vivek, I hated Poopan. I hated Poopan Vivek for like a year. And I loved Casey Putsch. He's going to lead the beer hall Putsch. He's got Putsch. It's called Putsch. It's like Hitler. Well, then what do? Last night, Brother Nicholas, you start eating just disgusting nastiness out of Vivek Poophand's oatmeal stew or gruel or whatever
Jacob,
you
is
wanna call
Nick
it.
Fuentes gay?
Yes,
You would
he's a
know. Like you can
homosexualist.
detect,
Yes.
right? He
Yes.
looks a little bit gay. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not just a look. I mean,
Ah.
it's look.
It's an
I will.
action.
It's an action, and here's the part about this. I talked to the priest earlier, and I said, I'm going to continue this, and I'm going to be mean to people, and I have to realize what is that cost for me. And he said, well, you will have a hefty cost, and that's just a simple fact. But the cost of your ego and you losing your station, well, you've already lost your station. You have no ego. They don't even allow you to have ego at this point. So your reputation, they won't allow you to have that. So it's like, what are you really worried about? Do you think, the Knights Templar or even Father Savonarola during the Borgia era, Pope Alexander Sextus, do you think they thought about their ego? No. They just did exactly what they felt was right. And in a way, that can feed you emotionally and spiritually. But if this is a choice for you now to say that it is too embarrassing for you to behave like this, and it's too embarrassing for you to not seem like somebody who has ever accomplished anything. Well, the Visigoths have sacked the city and are raping the Catholic women. Then, really, are you less evil and maniacal than the people who have allowed the Visigoths to enter the city and lowered the defenses? No, you're just as bad, if not worse. So I'm just done with it. But I do have a little thing for Brother Fuentes. We call this. This is his face right here. See this, guys? It's called Wang.
Hold on, let me make you big. Hold on.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, we see
What
this.
is that?
It's called Wang Af because Nick also believes he's the first person in the history of the world to ever use the word nigger. So we say white ass nigger going hard as fuck. What, Nick? Look at you. Look at the representation of what your soul really is and how you're viewed by most people. You don't even get seventh layer of Dante's Inferno. Hell, they've invented about 5 new layers for you. So fuck off. Now, this is a simple point. Let me stay on track because I have to be focused here for at least momentarily.
Yeah.
Anna Paulina Luna. It was not enough for her to have her whole little Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert profiles and courage.
She's
New
hot
York
though.
Times.
but continue. Yeah.
She is totally fuckable. She's got a velvet mouth, in fact, but or throat, I guess they call it. But profiles in courage. These women called out the Republican and Democrat men raping in Congress, and then that wasn't enough for her to be sex police for the past couple of months. It wasn't enough for her to reverse grift and extort behind the scenes, or shame and have public shaming festival, or even men who have consensual sex. Do I care that Corey Mills has consensual sex with Ashley St. Clair? No. Would I pay $10,000 a night to have that demented, poisonous twat? No. But
Damn.
but the simple point is, boys and girls, you will never be Speaker of the House. Anna Gamberski? Or is it really Anna Meyerhofer? What is a Meyerhofer? What does that sound like to me? It's who knows? But she's Messianic Jew. Then she's who's the Mexican general during the Alamo and everything that was trying to fight? She claims she is a descendant of him. Is it Pancho Villa? I don't know, whatever these things are. But
One of
she's-
those wetbacks, one of them.
Well, we don't call we don't say wetback. We just say spick. I don't care.
Oh shit!
Because guess what, guys? You can call me whatever you want, and that's called being an adult, a man.
Yeah,
that's
I
an
agree.
adult.
We completely agree. So when we were talking last night and you said something, I didn't want to cut you off, but I was like, dude, none of us know the meaning of being offended by words. Like,
Yeah.
you can't say something that will offend us. So go on
Yeah,
ahead,
well,
bro.
all these Republicans now, they sit there and they say, "Oh God, we just can't offend the Democrats too much. We just can't go too hard." Have you guys not realized that James Carville has literally said, if they capture back control, they will string us up? So yes, absolutely. I don't want to offend that bald
Right.
weirdo, because I just want to have, guillotine for me and rape party and Polish hanging method. They should look at that in history when the Nazis lost control and that war ended. What the Polacks did to the collaborators, the women shaved their head, raped. It was actually a public rape festival. And then the Polish hanging method is actually something, it's not easy. It's not just like, oh, the gallows and your neck snapped. No, it's on a hook. And it just is very painful and very brutal and very elongated, very extended. Kind of like Laura.
Who's first in line? Who's first in line for that in your mind?
In terms of what? The elected leaders or
Just if you could pick anyone and say, you motherfucker, you're the first on the Polish hanging. What is it?
Susie Wiles, you demented fake cancer bitch. You're first. And then it's just going to have to be Scott Pressler right after that. And then I think I'm going to do a similar...
might enjoy it.
A similar staged event where you have some hanging method, and then you have to get everybody excited because not everybody likes the slow hanging method. So then you have
And this is all entertainment purposes.
This is all entertainment, guys.
Yes. Yeah. Disclaimer.
Or it may not be a joke. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
who knows?
That's up to who's listening in terms of how they interpret it, because that's what adults used to do in this country.
Exactly.
You could say a joke, and somebody wouldn't have to be like.
I know, it's a sissy world.
So and then the third one, I mean, Jezebel. I think we'll do a daily double. Jezebel's Ashley Sinclair and Anna Paulina, or I call her now Anna Cuntlina Luna. So she's done. But what more do these people think they can do? They can rape us politically. They can rape us from a pride standpoint, that we're bowing down to the evil demon beggar king, Bibi Netanyahu.
Yahoo!
Yahoo! But okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Your hat's way
I've
too
been,
big,
I've been
bro.
sitting
You have to
shiva.
wear a tiny
I've
one.
been sitting shiva. Oh my God! Can you believe it, Mrs. Goldenstein? She couldn't even go to 2J's and get her beef tongue. There's no tuna salad. It's been so sad for her. And then BB is over here. And Trump wouldn't even let him have another $80 billion without flying over. Could you believe that? Can you believe that? I've got the kvetch. I've got the sit shiva. It's, oh my God. Can you believe what they're doing to me? Those Catholics. Oh,
You
we
really are
only.
from Florida, huh? I can
Oh,
tell.
yeah. Well, I've been around it so much. I might have been infected by knowing how to speak like them, but that's just it.
Jacob, can I ask you, when did shit turn for you? Like, it sounds like you realized something about
Yeah.
something. Yeah. When did
So-
shit turn?
But before you answer that,
I'll go.
but do answer it just real quick. I want to add that one of the most important things you said to me when we were talking last night that I was like, I feel like this dude's real, is you were saying how you had their backs because that's what you do for friends.
Yep.
And then you realized that they did not have your back in the same way and would fuck over anyone at any point to advance themselves. So I was
Yeah.
like, he gets it, man. But
Sure. So, it's not Enrique Tarrio's fault that he got double teamed in terms of the demonic twat of Ashley Sinclair.
And this is the guy with the Proud Boys, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
guy
I'm
is
just
a
clarifying.
generous term. We call him a street cheetah. And so it's
Okay.
it's not Enrique's fault that Anna Paulina Luna's double jointed demonic twat got him, and then Ashley Sinclair did the same thing and assaulted him in terms of spiritually and physically. He came to me like a little whiny bitch about what happened to him. He got Mickeyed. Well, a little GHB. Everybody's had Mickey happen. So, but then
Wow.
Scott Pressler and his demonic phallus comes along, and Enrique forgets a friend who, when he needed his rent paid, when he needed petitions done, like the one that got Donald Trump to do executive order in 2019, making Antifa a domestic terrorist organization. That wasn't any of these faggots. It was this faggot. I have a failure to understand why people like that think on a moment's notice they can burn and turn, and they're actively doing it right now. Matt fucking Gates had the nerve, in fact, to tell me, "Oh, Jacob, you're eating babies again?" I mean, this is the insanity that they text behind the scenes to me. He said, "Jacob, I just really wish you're not eating baby." And I said, "Well, I can't boof adrenochrome anymore, so I have to eat baby. It's really all I can do at this point, Matt." And I said, "Matt, you need to stop being a faggot, and you need to stand up against Peter Pedophile Sorsh. There's a documentary, it's called Citizen Sorsh, that I put out. Or you can stand up against the known Jezebel, Ashley Sinclair, who violated and Mickey'd you as well. I mean, do people not understand, before you get to the level of baby trapping Elon Musk, that you kind of, it's like a starter. You have to, first do junior varsity, and then you're in varsity, and then you go to college, and then you work your way up, and maybe you don't get to the Big Ten conference championship. Maybe you don't get to the Rose Bowl that year, but you keep working and working and working, and then finally, you've gone pro, and you get DC Drano. And the audacity of this woman, DC Drano, is a grifter. He's a corrupticon. That is not up for debate. But do I sit there and believe that DC Drano is sitting there crying because Ashley Sinclair said she was going to an event that he was also going to, and that she was going to sit next to Nick Fuentes, and that he started convulsing and vomiting just off of that? No, you psychotic hoe. You're just sick.
Right.
So
that doesn't sound legit at all.
back to the question that I derailed. what was the moment for you that when did all this turn for you? Like, because you were in it with all of them and you were there, and then now clearly they've turned their backs on you. So, what was the turning point for you? No pun intended.
The turning point has been about 3.5 months ago, and that's meaning I have sat away on the island of Elba like a Napoleon, or been exiled to a faraway land in an outpost and sitting in a little garrison. I've sustained and funded myself based off of a rainy day fund. And that's lasted for about 7 years. So I've been pissed for about 7 years. And I've tried this shit behind the scenes in terms of brothers, sisters, will you just please get with the program? Because the more you do this, do you want to be like Marie Antoinette? Do you want to be like the Sarzina and Nicholas II or whatever, when the fall of the Russian Empire happens? Do you want to be like Hitler, 1945 April in the bunker, where maybe he killed himself? Or maybe he escaped and went to Agartha, the center of the earth. I mean, that's what these people can say. People can say, "Oh, I'm white nationalist. I'm America first, and I actually think Agartha happened, and it's the plant, this Agartha, blah, 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 and I'm gonna, it's the Anunnaki, and it's Agartha." This is the insanity that these people have allowed into our political system. You can be crazy. I don't care about that. But when that kind of person is regulating government, and here's another one, penis head. Stephen Miller, you fashion yourself as a real white supremacist and real white nationalist. And you're so smart with your legal eagle college degree, prim and proper. Any real authoritarian that you envision yourself as, you wouldn't have sent 10 Border Patrol agents to Minneapolis. And then you wouldn't have just said, oh, there's another 10. And there's another 10. And then when you didn't let Greg Bovino really bring the hammer down, and he tried the best he could, but he's also another form of a double-jointed pussy as well. What should have happened, if you're all students of history, no, the call should have been to the governor, Tim Walz, and that faggot mayor, Jacob Fry. We are 10 minutes from the governor's mansion and the mayor's residence. We have 10,000 National Guardsmen and another 10,000 private contractors from Eric Prince of Blackwater, who actually is a great uncle of mine. And if you do not comply, and if you do not give us the vicious, illegal, alien, criminal, gangsters, rapists, and whatever within 10 minutes, then you will be seized, you will be charged with treason, and you will be hung the next day at noon. And I bet Tampon Tim would have removed the tampon real quick and complied. But what happened? What did we see? All of this endless moaning and groaning, and oh, well, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. And then Rebecca Good, oh, she was so good. Rebecca Good. I mean, first off, I don't think that she should have been gunned down like that, number one. But number two, I also don't think she should have run her demonic twat mouth and then got her, scissor sister, lesbian wife out of the car to film law enforcement officers, antagonize them, and then try and block them. And then, see, this is where it's happened, ladies and gentlemen. We're also frustrated to the point where people make bad decisions on all sides, and then loss of life occurs, and our laws are perverted. Anna Paulina Luna, where the fuck are the UFO files? I don't want to hear about you have to go hang out in, some outer space spaceship, or there might be alien. But do you guys not see how anytime these people get in control and they have something gold, they do this trickle and drip. Well,
Are they just all gaslighting us though?
yes, they are.
That's just all it is, right? We
They
shouldn't
think the American
expect
people are
anything.
stupid, and we are stupid. Sorry, guys. You know, what's on this call? People are listening. The people that are co-hosts in this insanity festival that I'm promoting, um, we're a very small percentage. But is it not historical that it only takes a few good men and women to break the fucking spell? And so I'm gonna keep trying, and you know, the wheels of power will no longer turn over the common man, because I will break them. And that's even insane in itself. That I
So are you
that I
holding
just
all the dirt on
no,
everybody and waiting
no.
as
I
they
just want
step
to
up
do.
one by one, or
I want to deploy it. I want to deploy it. And you know what? I think I'm. My utility is that I have the dirt,
Mhm.
but now I am battling fucking Enrique Tarrio's psychotic ass 24/7, who is just a pussy. Uh, you know, I don't want to say double jointed. I don't think he even has that respect. But then I'm dealing with Kim Coulter, who's the fake daughter, niece, or whatever of Ann Coulter.
okay.
2,000 text messages in 8 hours. What they're doing is they're piling on. So they hit me here, they hit me here, and then they go online, and the responses to my tweets universally: he's on a methamphetamine, he's on a cocaine, he's on a DMT,
What does
he's
that have to do with what you're saying?
Right.
correct. See, that's the point.
Attack what you're saying. Like, who gives a fuck what he's on? Like,
Right. And when I come back and I say, yeah, oh yeah, I just boofed some more crystal meth. What of it? Can you tell me why my point isn't accurate? And they say, oh God, look, now he expects an explanation after admitting to use drugs. You guys are so fucked because you use drugs to the extent that you're ruining this country. And I'm just gonna have to donate my body to science because I can consume more than enough to sedate several small nations and still be able to operate at a level that is 10,000% higher than whatever your retarded, psychotic ass thinks. Noel Fritch, you're done. Your pussy ass wants to respond to me about James O'Keefe raping, about Lindsey Graham raping. And
so
your
how do you know these things about James O'Keefe and Lindsey Graham raping small boy? I'm not saying I don't believe it
Sure.
because first of all, James O'Keefe, until I went and looked a little more, I was skeptical about. Lindsey Graham, just look at his fucking face. Like,
It's just
he
yeah.
His whole
wants to
demeanor,
touch
his
a
whole-
little boy, you can tell. But I'm just saying, like, how do you know
Allegedly.
these things? Yes,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Well,
I mean,
no,
that's just
no.
my opinion.
So
That's
no,
how
guys,
I think his
and
face looks.
and anything that's being said on this program that sounds, moderately insane or even fully insane,
Yeah, let's go with fully.
that's my fault. That's my fault. That's not anybody else's at all. This is called they're letting somebody have public slow motion suicide. It's a public health service, mental health counseling that they're doing on my behalf as advocates
I'm happy to
for.
be here for it, man.
Yeah,
Be here for
and
it.
as advocates for the insane who need help. So there will be no punishment of anybody here. Yes, since 14 years old, I have a friend of mine who has complained to me about this. And I, for a long time, said, yeah, you're fucking insane. You're a fucking nutto. Because he's a little crazy in terms of he doesn't wait. He's not patient, and he wanted action now in terms of how he viewed stuff politically. And I'm starting to realize that it's been about 12 to 13 years since I should have realized that there was immediacy in him and many others, dozens that I've reconnected with and gotten sworn signed affidavits from. Their immediate need was 10 years ago, was 7 years ago. And I was too busy enjoying my own crumpet party and beef Wellington experience that I thought these people are kooks. So that's the emotional and spiritual damage that I've inflicted on them, and God knows how many else by not taking action. And now it's being inflicted on me in reverse because of the stress of standing up finally. And it's a matter of justice and honor to stand up for these victims. And if I have to continue to torch my reputation, which I've never really cared about, because then you guys could control me. I did your little, I tried to put suit on, and I did that once, and I didn't like it. So that's my cause. That's my spiritual battle. That's what I've talked to Opus Dei about. That's what I've talked to Legionnaires of Christ about. They were greatly disappointed in Brother Fuentes and Candy Demon. We call her Candy Demon, and she really is a demon because she does half measures. She does half measures. She's trickle and dripping out. Oh well, on the next week on the Candace Owens show, I'll talk even more about how Erica Kirk is really a CIA asset. It's just all these things we already know, guys. So it's not special. It's not interesting. But it is really interesting or special, at least to some people, and especially to those who are pissed and threatening behind the scenes on me. You make threat? Now I will be insane. How much crystal meth is Jacob on? How many illicit narcotics has he consumed? Well, would it be anywhere near the amount that you all have consumed together with me in the past? Oopsies. But now this is called the pink paddle of purity. And Brother Gates, Ginger, your bitch wife, Ginger Lucky, Ginger Palmer Lucky, she will be paddled into purity. You will be paddled into purity. The paddle of purity for Anna Paulina.
Oh shit!
Oh,
You went dark.
Fuck.
yeah, they got him. They zapped
Too
his ass.
much. You know what it reminds me of? What was the guy who got killed by allegedly Tom Hanks?
Are you talking about
Isaac
Isaac Cappy? Because
Isaac-
Aurelian just said
yeah.
it in the
Yes,
comments.
Isaac Cappy. Yeah,
Abso-fucking-lutely.
right.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Maybe his phone is. Yeah, there you
There he
go.
is. Okay, we thought they took you out, bro. We thought for sure.
Now you're back, Jacob.
Oh, he might have to go to. Oh shit! Can you hear us? He can't hear us.
You might have to refresh. How do I do
me see if
sign
he'll
language
see
for
that.
I was gonna
refresh?
say. Oh, wait, let me see.
Bullshit. I don't hear.
Refresh. Oh yeah, good.
Well, let's hope he's refreshing.
I was gonna say. I was gonna try to hold up notes on my phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna message you.
So.
Well, where do you start?
Yeah. He's
I don't
definitely
even know
hung
where
out
we
in some
left
circles,
off.
I would say. He's
Yeah,
got some dish. He's got some dish for sure.
we need to try to find some structure though. It's very very hard for people who don't know. Like I don't know half of the people he's talking about, and I don't know if the audience
Just hang on
knows.
till he gets to one you do, and then go.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. But then he moves on to another one.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
who's
know.
that?
I'm trying.
Oh.
I'm still trying to formulate my. Oh. Okay.
Come on. I messaged him. Hopefully he'll jump back in. That's fucked up.
They zapped his ass.
Well,
No,
I
we'll
do
wait.
know because. Oh, we'll wait for sure. There we go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You're back.
Yes.
You're back.
I'm again, one man operation. This is not about me.
I'm one man. It's not about me. Just one.
I was just
No.
saying that you reminded me of Isaac Cappy. Remember that guy with the curly hair?
I do. Curly, and what's so I'm looking, sorry. Vince Sonat. Is
Yes.
that a Gaelic or Irish?
This is the best gay man I've ever seen, Freddie Mercury.
No
So-
one was talking about.
Yeah,
So,
he was asking about
seriously.
your.
Seriously,
About
though.
me.
Are you from
No.
Are you from Ireland?
Ireland. No, I'm Persian, but in Sweden.
Persian. It's
Yeah,
kind
and
of,
I'm
it's kind of a
straight, by the
similar-
way. Yeah.
It's kind of a similar dialect. So Persian. What are you going to Mykonos? Or are we going to
No.
Mykonos later today?
No. Should I? I don't even know
I
what
mean,
that is.
Fleet Foxes. We will go to Mykonos.
Okay.
Okay. But no, it's just too much here. And by the way, I have a very good friend, Amir Bibani, and his family, right after the fall of the Shah. Back when it was
Back when it was good.
back when it was good, and it was the Paris of the Middle East, of the West. That's even far, far, far west or east or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't, that's not the point.
And
point
the religion
is,
took over. Yeah. Anyway.
yeah, no, the religion took over, which
Yeah.
it's a weird dichotomy. So we have the religion take over, and then it's like not so much fun for a little while, but
Yeah.
do countries still, even if they're under internal turmoil, have the right to defend themselves and arm themselves without being policed by other countries? Yes, they do.
Sure.
Yeah. So, killing the Khomeini, and look, that's fine. But what does that accomplish? If you want to be strategic about it, if you agree with that and you agree with that action, okay, Ayatollah Khomeini is dead. And then we're putting out music video. It's what does that do? Because his son takes over. And do you not think maybe his son was like, holy fucking shit, somebody finally offed pops and now I'm in control. And so now is he gonna be worse or better? I mean,
If he's even alive, though, we've never
if
seen
he's
him.
even alive, exactly. So it's all a Fugazi to Fugazi. We see Lego video that keep coming out, and they're fucking hilarious. I mean,
They are.
Kirk.
Are
And the
are the Iranian fucking Muslims that funny? Are they? I mean, I don't know. I
I'm right there
I
with you,
could just
Ted.
be Americanized, but I see them as like not having a best sense of humor.
No, because that is an incredibly and still is an incredibly cultured and intelligent region and area and time from way back to the beginnings to even now.
And they're not even religious. Persians are not really like they believed in
No.
Zoroastrianism, the fire
Yes.
religion.
Yes, and I don't know what has gone on with society where we've forgotten before we had these wars with Christians versus Byzantine Empire or Muslim or what now would be considered Persian, Iranian, Iraq, Mesopotamia, whatever. We all used to actually be on the same wavelength. There's a reason why you have architecture and beautiful mosques in the Middle East that are embedded with the Christian cross and the symbol of God and the faith. And there's the same reason why you have Byzantine and Middle Eastern and Persian elements in a lot of early churches and monasteries and places like that are important to the Catholic faith. So where did we go wrong here? There used to be an exchange of ideas. I guess I actually do know where we went wrong.
I was gonna say
There's just this we just call them travelers. They're wanderers. We call them a wanderer, and they at a certain extent, if you all had a child who had been kicked out of 109 schools, at a certain point, is the child always the victim? Is the child always the endless victim who's never done anything wrong?
Oh, it
No.
couldn't be my baby.
It couldn't be. It couldn't be my Shlemiel. It couldn't be Rabbi Shmuley. He needs to grow up. He needs to grow up because I had a premonition. I read it in the Torah, and they had a bar mitzvah 8 years ago, and they said Rabbi Shmuley, he's gonna be Rabbi Shmuley, and then he's gonna have a daughter, and then she's gonna wield a dildo of displeasure.
Oh
and
yeah, his
rage.
daughter has a dildo company, right?
That's just sick. She started that when
That's
she's
wild.
underage. It doesn't,
Yeah,
and that
that's
doesn't matter if you're Jew. That doesn't matter if you're Christian. That doesn't matter
it's
if you're
whack.
Muslim.
Yeah,
It's
That's a morality thing.
disgusting.
Yeah.
And you look at
Yeah.
his face. Do you look at his face?
yeah.
Okay.
He looks
My face is not the
fucking.
best in the world. Okay.
He
We're
looks
not
like a
talking
troll.
Timothy Chalamet, but
Yeah.
that kind of face, it literally looks like a demented demon to me.
It does.
Could be a meme.
I hate
for
to
sure.
say it.
So you touched on it yesterday when we were talking, and then I had to go look it up, obviously, about your, which I think will lead into other things, about the whole shit which they publicly put out your letter to the judge that you fucking
Yeah.
wrote, which was amazing, by the
What
way.
do you want to? Why don't we do? Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing story time with Jacob Engels, Ted, Vince, and Bill Esquire. Would we like to do a little trip back in history to read a letter he sent to a judge when he did not have a grudge, but he had a grievance to air? Because you people, Susie Wiles, fake cancer bitch, penis head James Blair, you left me out in the cold. And even still, I took the heat like a man. I took that fucking judgment. I took all the nasty press. And you're flying around on a private jet and you're doing all this grifting and having crumpet party and shoving beef Wellington down your gullet. Enough is enough. So I think somebody should read it. Or if it can be
Okay,
pulled
where
up
is
to
it?
where I can see it.
Yeah,
'cause,
I
again,
can
I'm
pull
a
it up.
one-man operation here. I can't
Ted,
see.
do you have it?
I sent it to you on WhatsApp earlier today.
Okay, so can
Is
I?
it in the article thing?
It is in the
Yes.
article from
Yeah,
the
that's
Florida
the
Trident.
article. Yeah.
So
Okay.
can I?
Yeah, they print. That's what I was saying. They printed his whole fucking letter basically to the judge, and
Yeah.
the funny
Okay.
thing was, as I'm reading it, they're saying it as if it's something terrible, and I'm cracking up laughing the whole time.
Yeah. So if somebody has the
what-
full transcript, I'm asking somebody to read it. They're not responsible for it at all because it's free speech and there's no punishment here. So if somebody could read it, again, this is a one-man operation here. I've never wanted to
Yeah,
be
it's here
fucking-
somewhere. It's up on the
Which
screen.
link
should
is
be.
it? Uh,
It's
I
in
think
the same
I don't know
article,
if it
right?
is a link. It's just you can see all the quotes. The quotes are from his
the
letter.
quotes.
Yeah.
Okay, I see a few quotes. Okay, so I guess this one is it Blair
Well, at
and
the very
Jones?
top, I'm not willing.
Huh?
I- yeah.
Okay,
not
so
be
it starts here. I will not be a willing victim to this kangaroo court, Engels wrote.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and should I read this one now? Next.
Yeah,
Just
go
read
to
it
the
all.
Quotes.
Read it all.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, if
From
you
the
can.
beginning.
Yes, from the beginning. It's actually
You
a good
motherfucker,
lesson,
Jacob.
a
All right,
lesson
all right, all right,
in
all
democracy
right.
for people.
All right, let me zoom in. Fuck, man. Okay. In a defiant email written to a Central Florida judge, fugitive Republican blogger Jacob Engels all but dared the court to arrest him on a criminal contempt of court warrant he's been dodging since last September. And here's a quote from you, I guess. I will fight from South Dakota, and you can decide if you wish to violate the wishes of the chief judge about extraditing people on bullshit charges, Engels wrote to Ninth Circuit Judge James Craner on April 27th. Quote, I am sure child support or other what is it?
Offenses.
It doesn't say
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
spelled,
okay.
no,
Spelling
yeah,
correct,
it's spelled
yeah.
wrong. They messed it
Okay,
up.
offenses are more worth your time, end quote.
So pause real quick.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, did he drop out again? I was just gonna ask.
you dropped out.
Because he told me more about this last night, which there was a ruling that a higher court made that said you can't put somebody in contempt in civil trials. Oh, there you go. So yeah, can
Okay,
you
you're
explain
back.
that part real quick for people who don't know what you're talking about they were trying to put you in contempt of court?
Oh, he's
I
not
don't think
hearing
he
you.
can
Hear us?
Yeah, you can't
Get
hear
this
us.
shit fucking done.
Audio.
There we go. All right.
Ah,
We're good.
now.
All right.
You hear
Okay,
us?
yeah. So for the people, can you hear us now?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, can you explain to them?
But maybe he
touched
didn't
on
hear
it
what I read,
before.
Ted.
Oh no, I know
Well,
that.
I'm gonna tell him about how
okay.
the contempt of court thing, about that, what you were talking about, how a higher judge said that they don't have the right to do that.
Yes, that's absolutely true. The chief.
So although
judge,
you were being an asshole, you were being an asshole with fact behind you. Is my point.
Yes,
So.
the chief judge said that he is no longer going to hold people in contempt of court on things like a child support because or spousal support because the system in Florida has abused men for far too long in those decision making processes. So if you cannot afford to even get up to the point of paying what the court has decided on spousal support or child support, then what sense does it make to issue you a fine to make you pay more? And then if you don't pay it, you go to jail, and then you're not doing anything to even support your significant other or child. So he made it very clear that those games were over and it would not be occurring. But he also made it clear that somebody is not to be held in contempt for not being able to come up with funds, and they're not to be held in, on an arrest warrant, like they did with me, which they issued, because then what are we doing here? So it's contempt. We're finding him daily. Then we're arresting him. Then we're traipsing all over the country to go get him. And then he gets back. And then who's helped in that situation? Nobody.
Yeah. I just
Taxpayers.
wanted to make that clear because, like, the first word was fugitive, and
No,
it didn't explain why.
fugitive implies that there would have been a demand that I present myself before the court, and that I chose to not do so, knowing it was a court order. I don't call it lawful, but we'll call it court order. And that then I decided to flee the state.
Right.
Guys, I was in South Dakota for damn near 6 months before I got a text from somebody that said, "Hey, you have contempt of court." I said, "The fuck are you talking about?" "Oh yeah," and they put out an arrest warrant. "You're a fugitive from justice."
Yeah, as
Well,
you fled, but you were already gone before they issued
right.
it.
I guess it's kind of
Yeah.
like I'm time traveling, So, but this is more importantly, before we continue reading that, because
Yeah.
we have to.
Yeah.
It's an example of what the court system can do. I've worked with the Florida Fathers Rights Coalition for many years, and it's an example of how they can manipulate not only temporary restraining order, not only contempt of court order, not only the abuse by the court in fantastical financial demands and requirements by law of men, and they can just it's not good enough that you're raped once. It's not good enough that you're raped twice. And then there has to be another financial rape, reputational rape, emotional rape, spiritual rape. And I just, when they started playing games like that, I went to school for computer science, boys and girls. I'm not stupid. Even I couldn't go on the clerk of court website and operate it in a manner that made sense to me. So, how does that work for somebody who is not a technical person? And then their father, and they go through this process. They don't have an attorney, or maybe they have one, and then the attorney charges too much, and they don't have an attorney. And the stress of working fucking 18 hours a day and then coming home trying to figure out this court website and having about an hour to do that before you pass out because you're so goddamn tired to continue in the hamster wheel to 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 try and support your family, which the family, you want the family back, you want the child back in the home, you want the wife back in the home, but she's decided either because of Jezebel desires or just a creative differences, we'll call it, to go down this road. But you look up men's divorce law in Florida, and that's literally one of the only in the entire United States that focuses on how to address this. But what they did to me in this process was very much like what they do to fathers when some skeevy, Goldenstein attorney tells the ex-wife's or girlfriend or fiance that you just gotta say he raped you. It sounds like he raped you because if you say he raped you, then you get the kid. We're gonna get all this money. There's gonna be money. There's gonna be this, and there's gonna be matzo ball. It's a sick system. So please continue reading because
Okay.
Yes,
people
back
need
to the
hear it.
article. Yep.
All right. So continues. Engels, a Proud Boys associate and a protege of longtime Donald Trump confidant Roger Stone, has been wanted since Craner issued an arrest order for him last September. The order came after Engels failed to turn over court-ordered documents in a still active defamation lawsuit filed against him in 2022 that alleges that he was involved in a pay-to-play fake news operation targeting a former state house candidate. You want to comment on that shit, or should I continue?
I do. Let's pause for a
Yes.
second because this
Yeah.
is a lesson in fucking reality. here,
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I reported on Liz Cornell about the court documents publicly available, how she is a financial advisor at 28. She's got $2 million house. She didn't pay the contractors. She didn't pay the pipe fitters. She didn't pay the carpenters. She didn't pay the bricklayers. But she got what she wanted. And then she is a financial advisor who takes at-risk seniors, elderly at the end of their life, trying to manage their money to the point where maybe they have something to leave for their grandchildren or whatever they want to do with it. And it's called low-risk annuity or investment. That's what she sold them on. But then, without their consent, she shifted them into a high-risk annuity investment scheme. And then they lost their shirt, and all they had left at that point was to try and sue her in, civil court. So I reported on that, and that is not a goddamn crime, people. That is not.
So you wrote articles on court documents and then got sued for libel because of it.
Yes, and it's mine. It
Or
is
defamation, whichever.
People should keep in mind. I survived 6 prior attempts like this to break me, starting in 2013. That cost me millions of dollars and out of my own pocket because free speech. It's called New York Times versus Sullivan. It is exceedingly clear that they're not allowed to do that. I could have seen those court documents and had my opinion published, and I could have called her a pedophile if I wanted to. But that's still protected by the First Amendment, you goddamn fucking idiots. So what happened there is lawfare. She swamped me and had more money and more resources, and I expended we talked about it the other night, I think last $6,000 I had, and said, all right, I'll do the honorable thing. I'll make a final stand in the way that makes sense for everybody. And, we put on tie and it's all country club proper and people better step the fuck up. And, when Taylor Yarkovsky, state representative, who got elected on the coattails of my efforts, when I call him and I say, you motherfucker, you and James Blair and Susie Wiles promised if this psychotic bitch came after me, that you would provide me some legal protection. See, that's the thing. In the history of grift, I'm the worst grifter ever. It wasn't, you will give me money to shut up. You will, no. I'm talking about just defending free speech rights of a journalist in America. And even that was too much for them. So when they talk that I didn't do document production, I didn't turn things over, they asked me for my rememberings and musings on 45 people, from the President of the United States to Gavin McInnes to Milo Yiannopoulos to here, there, and everywhere in between. There might have been some woman who, like fell on a MAGA flag and then became MAGA, disabled transgender woman. But I had to answer all of those things. There's only so many times I can answer the same question. No, Stafford Jones. I saw him last in 2009 when he spoke to my Teenage Republicans Club in Orange County, Florida at Timber Creek High School. I haven't seen him since. But what they do when they have the power and you don't have the attorney in the backing is they say, well, we think Mr. Engels is not being truthful. Well, wait a second, motherfucker. You sued me. You have the burden of proof. I don't. And they say, well, he's not being truthful. And then they asked me the second go around with things like this. Well, did you receive a drink ticket at a Republican mixer in 2013? Okay, guys. So what are we saying here? That because Jacob received a drink ticket for some low-end fucking dumpster shelf wine, or not even a McCormick's, we're talking Skoll vodka drink, one time, that extended his campaign of corruption for 14 years to come and destroy this Jezebel woman. And I use Jezebel again because it's a recurring theme. This woman, Liz Cornell, she broke up one of the most prominent families in Lake County. The son walked into the room coming home from high school at 16 years old to find Gus Grizzard, a prominent realtor and real estate developer, in bed with a 23-year-old blonde woman that was not his mother. It ruined the family. It teared them apart. And I reported on that too. Yeah, I did. And guys, guess what? Judge James Craner, it's just so amazing what you've done. You applied twice to go to the Mueller court, Amy Berman Jackson, nonsense kangaroo court, disgusting festival. And then you, out of the blue, get this case just magically. Boy, I think you thought you were going to the big leagues, brother. But then I smacked you in the mouth publicly, and you can put your hands on me.
Finish the article, because that's
All
where
right. All right. So the next is the quote from Engels. I will not be a willing victim to this kangaroo court, Engels wrote. And it's the latest development in the defamation case filed by Elizabeth Cornell, who ran in Lake County for the District 25 seat. She claims Engels, a self-described journalist, conspired.
Self-described. Sorry,
Yeah,
it's just funny. If you put out articles about something, you're kind of a journalist. So they're like self, and it's not like you just were putting it on your blog.
Even if you're running Betty Lou Who's dementedmind.com, that's fine.
Yeah.
So let's continue because this is
all
important.
Right. What was that? She claims Engels, a self-described journalist, conspired with veteran GOP campaign operatives to defame her in 2 stories published on his Central Florida Post website in 2022. The blog posts alleged Cornell took financial advantage of an elderly business client and had an affair with a married man. How dare you, Engels? Is that true?
How dare you call her out on her degeneracy, right?
All right. Shortly after Engels published, PACs controlled by high-level Republican operatives James Blair and Stafford Jones sent mailers to voters in Cornell's district repeating the allegations, Both Blair, who serves as the political director for Donald Trump's presidential campaign, and Jones backed the Republican incumbent in the primary, Taylor Yarkovsky, who won the election. And let me know when you want to interject.
Oh, well, no, I'll just pause for 1 second, 10 seconds.
Okay.
Dumb Polak joke. Just insert whichever one you want, Yarkovsky. Let's continue.
Okay. Okay. The same GOP PACs paid Engels $3,800 when the first article was published, according to invoices obtained by Cornell's attorney Ricardo Reyes.
Yes, let's pause right there.
Okay.
Of course, I was down in Fort Lauderdale off Sunrise Avenue with Roger Stone. And this Blair and this Susie Wiles call me, and they want Stone endorsement. And I said, I don't control the man. If you think I have any semblance of control over him or anybody else, fat chance. But if you want to talk to him, sure. They talked to Roger. The candidate talked to Roger. And then they said, we want a video endorsement from Stone. And we want a robocall, a taped robocall. And I said, all right, but nothing is free in life or politics. Somebody's going to have to produce that. You will talk to my videographer, Data Battle Z, Ben Frisbee, and talk to Ben. And Ben said, that's what it'll cost to tape this, edit it, and give it to them in the way that they want. And I said, okay, then that's all yours, man. You know, you take that. I'm fucking late 2 months because I can't barely keep a roof over my head or keep you paid because of the kind of bullshit of getting banned from Twitter, Facebook, and my earning ability and potential was about at the level of, you know, I should have just been working at Dollar Tree. So I made it clear to Blair, I made it clear to Wiles and Yarkovsky that that's his cost. And just like when I say with Grifter Olympics Political Action Committee, not a penny in, not a penny out, I didn't take a goddamn shekel from that. So to have this fantasy that somehow I did, and even if I did, that $3,000 is a crime. Okay, let's accept that premise. But people now are doing open grifting, and they say, "Oh, give me money now." It's like the J.G. Wentworth commercial called J.G. Wentworth 877 cash now. So you guys are just it's the sickest thing. Number one, to make that accusation, and number two, to believe that $20 after expenses and Ben used his human capital and time to develop what they wanted for this campaign ad or whatever. That $20, that is a vast, wide-ranging conspiracy against this no-name Republican hoe that nobody's ever heard about. The only thing they heard about is that she has money and she's a financial advisor. But you see, boys, she only became prominent financially after her little gyrational awakening on a rich man in the community that broke up a marriage. So do you see how insidious this is, even from a local level, with what we're dealing with in politics? Let's continue, because I can.
All right.
This is.
Let's continue. So, quote, Blair and Jones would pay Engels to publish defamatory posts on his blog site, which masqueraded as a legitimate news or news commentary site, end quote, Reyes wrote in an amended complaint, end quote. And then it says, and then Blair and Jones would cite to and quote from Engels' blog posts in mailers and texts to further defame Cornell and mislead Republican primary voters, end quote. Both Blair and Jones, who was a figure in the 2020 ghost candidate scandal involving 3 bogus state Senate candidates are named as defendants in the lawsuit, along with GOP consultant Ryan Smith. All 3 denied wrongdoing in court filings.
Wait, let's pause right here.
Okay.
Do you guys see the innuendo that I was not involved in their schemes independently? Okay, but the innuendo is we've established the premise that Jacob is bad. He's immoral and unethical. It's not about this woman defrauding clients or leaving hardworking men and women of lower to middle class status, holding their dick and having tens of thousands of dollars of debt. That's not important. What's important is we've established the premise, and then Jacob's bad, and then there's Ghost Candidate, and then there's Ryan Smith, and then there's this. But you see, for the way that they do these things, I've already lost at that point because it's established that I'm evil, I'm icky, and then they have the gay thing, so they kind of, that plays into it. So when people say lawfare, when they say reputational assault and spiritual assault, this is what they can even do on a local level. First off, bitch, Cornell. The court told me I can't talk about it again. Well, I guess I've been talking about it for about 45 minutes. Come to Papa.
Shit.
And
Okay.
I will be publishing right after we're done on this live stream. I'm republishing the articles. It's going back up, and everyone will know about your degenerate, double-jointed pussy. That's fine. Sorry, bad word alert. But we should continue.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let's continue. In a phone interview with Trident, Engels, who claimed to be in South Dakota, said the $3,800 payment he received was paid by Blair, not for writing the Cornell stories, but for shooting a video of his former boss, the operative Roger Stone, touting Cornell's opponent Yarkovsky. Quote, I told James Blair from the start that was something he needed to be responsible for, end quote, said Engels, who added that he had no idea what became of the video. A robocall Stone recorded for Yarkovsky's campaign can be heard here. Quote, the legal system has zeroed in on people like Donald Trump and myself, end quote, said Engels. Quote, they came after my publication and attacked me. This is an attack on free speech in America, end quote. Engels said his reporting on Cornell is supported by public records and called himself a victim of, quote, lawfare. In the complaint, Reyes refuted the notion that Engels is a journalist, and Judge Craner ruled Engels didn't qualify for journalist privilege in the case as well.
So let me stop right there.
Okay.
Am I the biggest grifter of all time? And this drug abusing creep that has lost his mind? Or am I also just so powerful behind the scenes that I've forced all of these powerful people to, twiddle their thumbs and send money and to do invoice and to do this? And then after that, force them to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their own accord to send mail outs, which they could have done based off a Facebook post in the local MAGA mommy Facebook group. Do you see what's going on here? How I'm to be blamed for their bullshit? And Blair and that faggot Ryan Smith and Susie Wiles, fake cancer bitch. We've now been through it 8 times in Florida, for those who know. About every time Susie's pussy gets sore, there's
cancer.
There's a cancer. And then, but there's a cancer, but did you see how she came back down to Florida? And she's been on a barnstorming speaking tour to legislators in Tallahassee, to Tiger Bay
She's so
Club.
strong.
She's so,
Thank
but
God
that's
she
right.
survived.
That's right. She's so strong. She is fighting her cancer, her twat cancer that has come back for the 8th time. And she's doing it because she has to do it for the president. And she's going to become chairwoman emeritus of the Republican Party of Florida from now. It's called ad infinitum until the end of time. Let's continue, though. This is fun.
Okay, let's continue. Quote. Engels is an internet troll and political blogger who masquerades as a journalist and is paid to publish. Did I read this? And is paid to publish posts designed to politically damage targeted candidates, the attorney wrote.
No, let's pause right there. Let's
okay.
pause right there.
All right.
I have a history of exposing corruption from the Orange County Expressway Authority, from the Seminole County Tax Collector's Office, all the way up to USAID recently, and everywhere in between. So again, am I the crazy person ranting and whatever? But what they did with that summation is, so they decided he doesn't deserve journalistic protections, which are a little stronger than average just First Amendment protections for the citizen. You know, if you go shoot your mouth off in a parking lot and say that person's a pedophile, then it's a little different than having, you know, even just a blog post about it. And that's the right thing to do in America because that's how the founders set it up. But what they were able to do, because they didn't have money to fight, and I have the goddamn screen recordings, I have the goddamn call records and files where I tried to participate in these court hearings, even pro se, and then I didn't get to participate. And then they say, well, we've decided he's not even a citizen in the terms of journalist for First Amendment. You know, by the way, the North American Man Boy Love Association has more journalistic protections and free speech rights than I do. So let's think about that. And then we'll decide, oh, then the journalistic protections and anti-SLAPP and New York Times versus Sullivan are removed. And then because he didn't participate in our charade and come to the court to worship the judge in his gay black robe because that makes him so powerful and important. Well, now he's lost his First Amendment rights. He's lost his secondary protections as a journalist. And now, if that wasn't enough, they could have just stopped there. All right. Humiliation ritual. This is what they talk about with this shit that people think, oh, Pizzagate. Oh, it's crazy. Comet Ping Pong or whatever. Epstein Island. See, no, this kind of stuff shit, this fuck shit happens on all other levels. And then, and you just read it, and I'm going to stop and let you finish. But then they say the literal lawyer who I went to the court and judge and said, Your Honor, I think you're a faggot and you're a bitch, but this attorney came to me and made a phone call that I have the recording of, and I don't give a shit about the consent laws because I have to protect myself in some manner, form, or function at this point. And he told me, well, Liz Cornell can't pay me right now. So if you just give me 20 grand, we'll settle this case. We'll do what's called a kind of a mutual dissolution where everybody just agrees it's over and there's some form of compensation or punishment for both people. And I said, really? Let me think about that. And then I presented it to the judge and I said, he should be disbarred from the Florida bar. That is bribery, or that is extortion. That is a violation of 10 different segments of the Florida bar, ethics and guidelines. It's an affront to your court, Your Honor. And I'm just here advocating for you, the victim who's been victimized by this man who's raping the legal system in Florida by embarrassing you in your black robe. And I was told that I needed to shut up and there would be no more utterances from me. And until I got an attorney, there would be no respect for me in that courtroom. So again, what does that say to fathers who cannot afford to fight an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend who's got a new boyfriend or new husband who's got the money to legally shame them and put them into submission? What does that say? That says you're insignificant, you're small, your rights don't matter, you're less than a bug, because apparently, we have bug that flew on Obama's face, and PETA said the bug that slapped, that was a real people against or people for the ethical treatment of animals, because now the bug is an animal. Do we not see the insanity at this point? Let's continue. Sorry.
All right. All right. Engels has long been a controversial bomb thrower in Florida, learning under the tutelage of Stone, a Fort Lauderdale resident and a Trump pardoned convicted felon who began his lurid career in the early 1970s as a dirty trickster for Richard Nixon. Stone was introduced to Trump by Red Scare lawyer Roy Cohn. I don't know how you say that. In 1979, and served as Trump's top political aide, lobbyist, and close friend, as Stone puts it, for decades. Both Stone and Engels have been very closely linked to the right-wing extremist group Proud Boys, and the two men were together in Washington, D.C. on January 6, 2021 during the insurrection.
And by the way, pause.
Yeah, go.
Pause one
Go.
second. Closely linked to the Proud Boys. I was never a member. As a journalist, I reached out, and it was Tyler Zokowski, who's the founder of the Florida chapter, which was the first chapter founded and chartered after Gavin McInnes made the statement. Not Enrique Tarrio, but him. He did it. And I said, I'm hearing there's homophobia. I'm hearing there's this anti-Muslim bit. I'm hearing there's, women need to have, sandwich ready. I'm just really interested in learning about that. And I think it's kind of bullshit. And I'd like to come to your meeting. So the only journalist in the history of Proud Boys across the goddamn fucking country, and I'm sorry, but I was allowed to attend the meeting. And I was allowed to embed with them for years. And what do I do at the first meeting? You guys remember when it was the whole 21 push-ups to end veteran suicide thing?
Okay.
That's what was happening. It was at Wekiva Springs in Orlando. And so everybody's getting drunk, and I can consume pretty easily about 3 liters of vodka and still be completely functional, boys and girls.
That's nuts.
It's nuts, but that's a genetic issue from my mother and father and their mothers and their fathers. And so I do push-up. I did push-up quicker than Joe Biggs. I did push-up better than Enrique Tarrio and Joe Biggs. And so that's the kind of context here is I'm not some weirdo who walked in to a bar and there was Proud Boy or something, or there was Roger Stone or something, and then I farted in that direction and they smelt it, and now I'm their best friend and I've done all these wonderful things. It's again insidious, but let's continue. This is fun. This is like
how
story
much of your
time.
instincts about the Proud Boys were actual, were true? And false?
Across the board, except for Jovi Val, who in Albany, New York, at a Proud Boys meetup in, God, I'd say about 2018. There's an article about it. If you look it up, it's right after he got his face busted, and we're supposed to care about some autistic weirdo who wore a MAGA hat, and he has plastic surgery, and we're sad for him. He got up. He got up, and I entered the room with Bobby Jeffries of Pennsylvania, and I had my friend Tyler Zelkowski, Polak, dumb Polak, but that's okay. And aside from Jovi Val and a pedophile rapist that Enrique Tarrio protected, Jovi Val stood up. He got up on the counter. He thought this was beer hall putsch for him. He gets up on counter in not really a beer hall. It was a rundown, like walk up condo. Okay, that's fine. No judgment there. And he gets up there and he starts yelling and screaming. And for most of it, I was like, this guy's fucking cuckoo, but he does not give a fuck. And I love it. And then it's like, he had those little Coke bottle sunglasses. He's got to go to the thrift store and get them. And he's, so cool. And he sees that I'm there. And then he starts in on a rant about, and the homosexuals are the first ones we're going to round up. Oh, boy. But I let him keep going because I thought it was fun. Even at that point, I was like, this is fucking cool. This guy's fucking cuckoo. And then he just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
Can't get enough.
He couldn't get enough. And he had to direct his energy at me and name me and point at me and call me out as being the disgusting degeneracy that is ruining this country. Well, Brother Val, that doesn't really work with somebody who's already had about half an 8-ball and is a little drunk, and you're a dime store faggot. So I did grab his ass off of the counter, and I did beat the shit out of him a little bit. But nice things, like I'm saying, we do to Brother Fuentes, we just do backhand like this. There's just a slap festival on him. And he had to apologize. And then I let it go. But Jovi, he came back for more like a year and a half later at the Demand Free Speech rally at the Ronald Reagan Freedom Square outside of the Willard Hotel in Washington, D.C. And I'm speaking. And by the way, I get like a faggot, third rate, fourth rate speaking slot, which they always do. That's fine. But I get up there and I say some funny shit. And, it's like very tepid. But then Laura Loomer and her Jewish pussy, gets up there and just breathes, and it's so, but fucking Jovi showed up again. He showed up again, and he started running his mouth again, and I did it again to him. So please riddle me this, all of you alpha males, not you guys, but so many running their mouth about me right now and being so brave. What is a boy to do when you can't even stand up on business like that? So let's continue. Sorry, let's get through this.
Yes.
This is very disturbing, by the way. I'm a victim's rights advocate, and I'm feeling victimized right now, but I will fight for myself later as well.
Okay, so 4 Proud Boy leaders, including Stone and Engels associate Enrique Tarrio, were convicted last year of seditious conspiracy for orchestrating the attack on the Capitol that day. As part of that case, federal prosecutors investigated whether Engels was involved in the lead up to the attack and if a 2018 mob protest outside the Broward supervisor of elections was a blueprint for the Proud Boys.
Which Susie Wiles and James Blair, you paid me $48,000 to keep that protest going, and it was the right thing to do. Do you think a whole bunch of degenerate Proud Boys and Tea Party people and MAGA mommies who could barely, operate a motor vehicle to get there because they're so drunk and coked out, where do you think they stay? Do they go sleep in bush? No, I think not, but please continue.
Okay, let me see. Broward supervisor of elections was a blueprint for the Proud Boys' actions on January 6th, according to the New York Times. Quote, the prosecutors want to know whether Mr. Engels received any payments or drew up any plans for the Florida demonstration. And
Yeah,
quote
I
the
drew up a
news.
plan.
Huh?
You know what the plan is
Yes.
called? The plan was, I wake up after, and there's a video we can play and insert into the program later. But Andrew Gillum, he kept doing. My grandmama said, she put olive oil on my head. My grandmama said she put olive oil, and then I get up and I goes to schools and do all this nonsense, and that's how I got to be mayor of Tallahassee, and that's how I got elevated to the point my grandmama says of having wild sex parties with lobbyist Adam Corey in his honey trap mansion in the state capitol. That's what grandmama said. But so either one thing can be true. It can be that Jacob is crashing out, which, by the way, there's no embarrassment of crashing out when Clavicular, a known homosexual, is able to do meth party on live stream, but his body can't even sustain meth party, and it's embarrassing. He passes out, and it's
Fucking
just
lightweight.
it's fucking lightweight. It's exactly what it is. But so we win the election, and I was against fucking DeSantis in the primary. So even I put my pride and ego aside to support him because the Marxist next Obama was far more scary than an autistic retard like Ron DeSantis. So I'm hungover, and it's like 3, 4 in the afternoon. I've already extended checkout like 5 times, and I get a call, and it's Matt Gaetz. And it's Chris Dorworth, the former Speaker of the Florida House. It's now State Senate President Jason Brodeur. And it's fake cancer, my twat hurts, Susie Wiles, and it's James Blair. And they say, Jacob, what's it going to take for you to get down to Broward now and destabilize that entire recount scenario? And I said, well, I like $100 million because I'm fucking having a splitting headache. There's no more booze left. What do you guys want me to do? You busted my ass, getting the shit kicked out of me for 4 months, attacking and going against these Marxists who are trying to let this undercover faggot become uh, governor of Florida and then president one day because it said next to Obama. He said, well, really, what will it take? And I asked Tyler, my video guy, I said, how much is it to have, it's called the Link Motel, and it's right off a Sunrise. I said, how much is it for the Link Motel? And we call it the Kink Motel because any type of drugs or whatever is there. I said, how much for 2 weeks? How much for I don't want Skull. I don't want McCormick's. I want at least Tito's for 2 weeks. And then I want, Chick-fil-A. And then I want Little Caesars or maybe Hungry Howie's Pizza. That's what I want for 2 weeks. And I'll make sure everybody else gets hotel rooms and they get what they need. And he types it up and he says, well, it's going to be about $10,000. And I said, really? How much will we have left afterwards? And he's like, probably like $250. And I said, great, let's go. So again, Grifter Olympic. I guess maybe I'm just jealous because if I had done what I'd done in 2018 in this atmosphere with all these Mormon fundamentalists or whomever's, helping Nick Shirley remove the all-American double-sided 24-inch dildo from his ass that's connected to Scott Pressler for a moment to get down to Cuba. How am I grifting, guys? Because I would have had tens of millions of dollars based on the metrics I'm seeing. And let's finish this and continue this. This is just
So
fucking interesting.
that's a no on Proud Boys. You didn't.
That's a no on Proud Boys. They are not sexual faggots. They are moral, ethical, and courageously uncourageous faggots. And Tario, for you, after everything I've done for you and for your mommy, Zuni, we call it Zuni Tario. What about Soraya Foss, your side piece that I had to keep under control? After all of that, Kim Coulter getting her ego bruised by a text I sent to somebody else privately that did not involve her and was not posted publicly. That demented whore thought it was wise to send thousands of text messages to me at a clip of 5 or of 1 every 5 seconds for 8 hours to brutalize me mentally.
Sounds
Fuck
psychotic.
you, whore. It is psychotic. I called it, and you know what she really hated? Is when I called it, I said, your vaginal psychosis is in the terminal stages. Your vaginal psychosis needs to be cured. I will give you the cure. It's simple, Kimberly. You will shut your mouth. You will zip your claptrap. And if you can do that for 5 seconds, then I will just forget about all of this. Well, that is about, I think, 1 millisecond before another text hit. And I said, well, what do you want from me? Ho. What do you want from me? Ho. And she said, well, I want $500. And I said, okay, why? Well, you called me a year ago and you were upset that your boyfriend was having emotional issues. True statement. But then I talked to her and I hung up. Now, my emotionally insane and autistically crippled boyfriend at the time, he took the opportunity when I went to the restroom to use my phone to call her and demand $500. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Stop. And that's where she's landing on. Her life has been aggrieved for so long over this past year because $500
$500
came, it's like it's raping her children that she doesn't have the $500. It's like she can't continue to transport narcotic across state lines through marijuana butter, or we call it P2P. And P2P, if anybody is listening, is called methamphetamine. So do not lecture me. Ho, I asked her to stop even at that moment. And then I only told one other friend at that point that I had to deal with the death notice of my ex-boyfriend who I haven't talked to in over a year. And he was not the best person in the world. But that doesn't mean somebody needs to eat a bullet. Okay. Before I left Florida and came back up to the Midwest, he, pulled a knife on me. He stabbed me, and he went to rehab, which is what he needed. It's called Baker Act 5150, and I get a letter at my grandfather's house that says, this attorney and law enforcement are trying to get in touch because his body has not been claimed. So even after all the horrible things he put me through emotionally and otherwise, I had to deal with that. And that's called what being a man is and stepping up. So I stepped up. But I had to call somebody. And that one person, who I'll leave nameless right now because she's enduring a custody battle right now with a actually horrible ex-husband. So it's not right to do that. But what does Kim Coulter and Enrique Tarrio and these people start texting me that my ex-boyfriend ate a bullet because I was so miserable. That's horrible. That is the act of somebody who's demonically possessed, and it's not right. And you will no longer be allowed to march around claiming moral and ethical superiority. But okay, let's continue.
Yeah, should I read? Yeah. Okay. So the prosecutor want to know whether Mr. Engels received any payments or drew up any plans for the Florida demonstration. Quote, the newspaper reported in a November 2022 article, quote, and whether he has ties to other people connected to the Proud Boys activities in the run-up to the storming of the Capitol, end quote. Engels described his relationship with the Proud Boys as an advisor who would travel with them and help coordinate their events. He said he never took the oath to become an official member. As for Aga, huh?
I'm a proud Western male, and I refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. You faggots! Come on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, no problem. Let me see. As for January 6th, he said he slept through most of the events of that day and was never questioned in the federal Proud Boys case. Quote,
And let's pause for one moment, and then we'll continue.
all right.
No, I was never questioned. What was I doing? Searching all over the goddamn fucking city and having to pick my friend Bobby Jeffries up out of a subway on our street northwest because he got too drunk and walked off, which is not an easy feat. And it's not a nice area. It's not a a nigger problem. It's just called degenerate crime problem. But I went and I did that, and I got Bobby back to the hotel room, and then he proceeded to be even more drunk, which is okay because it's all like a charade. I'm very interested when these things happen because I'm just having fun. And so we all have to. Jason Roberge, an attorney, he ran for Congress in Virginia. He was there at the Willard, and so we got Bobby situated, and we thought it was okay. Then Bobby wakes up in a fugue state. If anybody's familiar with Ted Bundy, when you see somebody get total black hamster eyes that are devoid of any emotion or sanity, and they just start going off and get into a state of, I'm God, that faggot piece of shit Trump. When I'm president, I'm going to make sure his ass is locked up and Melania will be raped. And then that faggot RFK Jr., who's trying to be president, I'll rape him and that Cheryl Hines. Okay, so this is the kind of level of shit that I've dealt with
like a
behind
fun
the
guy.
scenes. Yeah, it actually is fun because guess what, guys? It's fun when your friend keeps us all fucking private and has 7 years of being on out in the wilderness asking and begging for help. And now I'm realizing it's just an endless crumpet party and beef Wellington party. And Steve Brignoli, DARPA, your daddy founded DARPA. Steve Brignoli, SOF. Guess what? You degenerate homosexual. Ask Scout, ask Ryder, or ask whatever other faggot name you've given to your children. Why don't you come and see me, Steve? Why don't you come and see me? Because if I'm such a drug-addled degenerate piece of shit, then surely you, as a former Green Beret, going all around the world and daddy doing DARPA, we call it DARPA, then come and get it, motherfucker. And I bet you won't. I bet you won't even open your goddamn fucking mouth publicly, because if you did, then you'd have to acknowledge that, I don't know, Jacob isn't one of your COCOR prostitute friends, and I will have to admit, the coke was pretty good over at Steve's. He had like a bag. It was like the one in the Ashley Sinclair ad, where she has bag. It's like this big. But let's continue, because after
All
we
right.
finish this article,
Yeah.
there are 2 videos we need to watch
All right.
that need to be seen.
All right. So, quote, I didn't wake up until 2 in the afternoon, end quote, said Engels. Quote, I woke up in the hotel room and I turned on the TV and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone is like, well, it's happening. I said, okay, that's it. I didn't participate in it at all and I didn't plan it. He said he flew. he said he flew back to Florida that afternoon, which he called a quote planned maneuver.
No. See, let's pause right there.
Yeah.
I didn't fly back to Florida that afternoon. That is well documented, and I can provide the evidence to it. That is the early stages of Roger Stone's psychotic, demented ass trying to make it seem like I was, operating behind the scenes. We've seen the Get Me Roger Stone, where Rick Wilson, a known pedophile with Lincoln Project, we've all seen him. It's like a demented elf, Rick Wilson, where he said, "Oh, and Roger Stone just whispers in Trump's ear, oh, I bet Obama wasn't born in this country. We have to get the birth certificate." So that is just a wonderful examination of Roger Stone's character. He's the one who did a planned maneuver on Julie. God, I forget her name.
Giuliani. No.
Giuliani as well, but they all got on a plane, a private jet, and I wake up hungover, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? But I thought it was beautiful in the sense that whether you're Republican or Democrat, that finally these members of Congress who go up to this festival of debauchery in D.C. and leave their families behind and engage in all these activities, finally felt a little bit of fear. Yes, sorry, Nancy Pelosi. This man, he puts foot up on your desk and he's got to go to jail for 10 years for it.
So, Jacob, can I ask you, what happened with Roger Stone? Because it sounds like you don't like him too much right now. Or
no, I don't. But Brother Stone, he taught me a lot. And he taught me a lot about public shaming. So I guess I'm doing a little public shaming myself. Now, Roger, do you want to talk about Laura Cuomo? Do you want to talk about the 12 police reports from Harlem, where you had your old apartment with Kristen Davis, the former Manhattan madam, in the Elliot Spitzer case? Do you want to talk about Akeem Howard Brown? Do you want to talk about your anal stretching events, where you had, a large black member continue to enter, and this was just not one member at a time?
no way, is he gay?
Yes,
no way.
Yes. He has not had sex with Nydia Stone in 29 years, or any other woman. This is a faggot, and he has behaved like a faggot. And I don't behave like a faggot. Yeah, I'm a little bitchy, and I'm having my time in the sun right now, or having my fun in the sun. But it's a mad world. So, guys, welcome to my world. Now, you could have just bent the knee and caved into my demands, which were a goddamn fucking phone call. I'm not even asking for any money. I'm not asking for prestige and power. I don't want to be associated. I don't want to go to a crumpet party with Leo Tyrell, where I have to hear about how this McDonald's cheeseburger is really kosher and he loves Jew, and then Mike Huckabee is sucking off Rabbi Shmuley, and then Rabbi Shmuley is sucking a penis of child and circumcising it. No, I don't want that. They clearly are enjoying it, but Roger, the game's up, the jig's up. So you guys have tried the shaming privately. He's eating babies again. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm eating babies. I'm eating the babies. Remember that lady? When Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, who sent her there? I'm the one who sent her there. Where said, oh, we don't have time to save this country. We have to eat the babies. That's why I love Green New Deal. We have to eat the babies.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Eat shit, motherfuckers, because I've done it for the love of the game. And now the game doesn't love me. But we talk about, it's called Caroline DuPont. We talk about Jackie Siegel, Westgate Resorts. These are people in their own right who've been treated the same way, who apparently happen to have, I guess, a combined net worth of about $6 billion. So my little festival of accountability will continue from now until the end of time. And what will be demonstrated to the American people and to all of your friends is you talk a big game about, oh, yeah, Roger says, we're just going to do shirt off now. It's not called nudity because there's porn allowed on Twitter. So we're just going to have to make a point. How much more insane can I get? It's called, let's talk about that. Do we want to talk about it? Stone, do you want to talk about what happened with you and Ann Stone, Republicans for Choice? Do you want to talk about your kike text messages? I think that'd go over really well right now in the White House, and your lobbying contracts are going to be poo-pooed. Well, wait, oopsies. I guess they just got poo-pooed. Or maybe nigger text. We call it nigger text, and we call it nigger talk. Not because I like to use the word, that's the word he uses, not me. And you want
Like,
to talk...
I'm just quoting. I'm quoting. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just quoting. It's kind of offensive. I'm really kind of actually just...
Oh, you went
Lost
mute.
audio. We lost audio. No audio.
Can't hear you, bro.
You might need to refresh. Refresh, I think, maybe.
The wheel.
Yeah, you have to refresh.
He's going. He's going. He's saying one. There he goes.
Yeah.
He got it.
Doing the countdown.
Whew.
Don't you have to be on another podcast in like 15 minutes, Vince?
Oh, that's 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry, lads.
There we go. All right. So let's continue to talk about. Let's talk about nigger talk, Roger.
Now you're back. Yes.
It's really funny that you take, up to a 13-inch member, and we're talking. This is bigger than Ron Jeremy. I mean, this is historic.
Wow.
Where there has to be poop cleaned up off of bed. There has to be blood cleaned up off of bed. And then the meth party continues. And then there's another member that inserts. And it wasn't always black. So we'll give him that credit. But, when you, and Kristen Davis, the Manhattan Madam, can confirm this, we've actually been working on a book. And I'm sorry, Kristen, my patience level for the Pitter Patter with Lisa Bloom and Gloria Allred and the Feminazi Coalition, I don't really like that. So now everyone will be forced to bend the knee to me. And what am I going to get out of it? Absolutely fucking nothing. So please tell me how you're going to call me a grifter or an extortionist because I get to say what I want to say. Do we have a price tag on that? Wait a second. Wait.
Why'd you charge me $1,000 to be
on?
on this podcast then, bro?
Yeah, ring, banana phone.
Just
Jacob, we just heard what you're saying, and because of what you said, we're going to give you $800 billion, or maybe actually this $6 million. Because we like that number, to promote your emotional and spiritual reawakening. And then you can somehow manifest that and write it on the wall and play with poop and make a painting like Hunter Biden. And then you will one day be able to have the strength to volunteer on Peter Thiel's pedophile gay festival, J.D. Vance campaign in 2028. And if you have to eat cockroach, and if you have to rent your ass until then you're just going to have to do that because everybody else is just trying to get their life back. Drone strike, lobbying, Roger. Steve Pigeon, Roger. DCIS, Roger. Now, you'll see this will be the, what do we call it? The paddle of purity. And unlike Roy Cohn, who did not bring you to purity after he raped you, I will bring you to purity. And even if that's just emotional and spiritual and your pride and your ego, because here's what's going to happen. You can keep doing what you're doing behind the scenes. Oh, he's on meth. He's on meth. He's on cocaine. He's on DMT. Maybe all three, quite frankly, and maybe some vodka. But that doesn't embarrass me because, Roger, do you want to take a drug test right now? I'll take one. I won't be shamed by it. But you know what will happen when those results get published? Somebody in this circumstance, me or you, Roger, will be testing positive for something called VIH or something like that. Is it HIV? You have not watered this plant. And now the plant is angry. It's like a Venus flytrap. And everybody else in this political climate and environment will sit here and measure themselves. And they'll say, well, in order for me to get grift, then I'll threaten behind the scenes and I'll let one piece of information flow. And then another, and another, and another. Well, here's the deal, boys and girls. I am storming your encampment. I am coming at the garrison, and I have what I have left, and that is honesty. But you know, that's a lot more powerful than your moral faggotry. So your party going up and down to DC and pretending you're Penguin from Batman in these horribly fitted suits is over. Enrique Alejandro, who has been your handler for the past 6 years and pushed everybody honest out of your life. And guess what? Here's the thing. Oh, Jacob's not honest. He lies. Yeah, guess what? I'm dishonest. Sometimes there's dishonesty, but that occurs with even Jesus Christ, you faggot. So that's not an angle for you to go from. Do we want to talk about Enrique Alejandro's connection to the Muslim Brotherhood or about how his father runs a weird museum of reliquaries down in Miami and has over 67 LLCs in the state of Florida, ranging from import-export to healthcare. Does that sound
How are
like
you
money?
still alive?
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
still
how
alive
haven't they fucking taken you out yet, bro?
because I do not bend the knee. I guess you could ask my dad, who Corey Mills honored on the floor of Congress in 2023. My father, little short Irishman, Stuart McNally, he didn't have much self-control either. I tried to have more than he did, but what happens to him? He joins up, goes to Vietnam, and I don't know, ends up in Leavenworth for about 10 years because he couldn't control himself. But he gets out of Leavenworth and then starts working as a bouncer at a couple of bars in Saginaw, Michigan. And you know, that just happened. And then somebody ran their mouth to him when he told him it was closing time. You know, it's called the song, It's Closing Time. And the guy decided to rear up on him and pull a gun. And my dad just pulled out his pistol and popped his fucking gourd off. So this is not the kind of stock these people want to deal with. And look, what's the insult, guys? Could somebody here collectively tell me what the insult is? Okay, drug. All right, don't care. Okay, he's lying. Well, I'm not, and I can back it up with documentation. Don't care. Well, he's unstable. Okay, yeah, don't care. Everyone else is too. He's not religious. Wrong. Talk to Father Calvin Robinson. Talk to Casey Pooch. Talk to many others that I could name in the traditionalist Catholic movement. Even Carrie Prejean. She's a little bit of a Jezebel herself. But Joseph Enders. I'm not some person that you can play games with. And I've entertained it and tolerated it for now. But when I see the endless grift of Scott Pressler saying, "Hello, everybody, it's me, Scott Pressler. I had an anal stretching event in the Virginia GOP office. I've raised tens of millions of dollars. I've won no elections, but I should be the chairman of the RNC, not Joe Gruters." And then people are like, "Oh my God, profile, encourage." Scott Pressler, who's won every Republican campaign dating back to the end of time, needs to be elected, and he needs it now. Your faggot party's over too, Scott. Information Strategies Vermont. Let's talk about RIF LLC. And you will not come after any of these people that want to have upset or their tummy hurts. They need Pepto-Bismol after this interview. You can come at me and me alone, because what I've already backstopped is doing an interview like this, where the people who've had the bravery and the courage to allow me this platform, they're already covered under Federal Whistleblower Protection Act. So get fucked, queer.
So this article, let's get back to finish the article.
Okay. In the April 27th email to Craner, Engels alleges the judge is angling for federal judicial appointment, implying he's acting out of political interest rather than the law. He doubled down on that combative stance in his interview with the Trident, implying Craner wanted him as a political trophy. Quote, "I understand Craner has a job to do," said Engels. "You get Roger Stone's number 2, big bad Jacob, then you bring him down, and he's all in shackles. I get what's going on. It's not going to happen, though." Despite his taunting of the court, Engels has yet to be taken into custody. He said he's had contact no fewer than 3 times with police for drinking-related incidents, and each time they've declined to put him into custody. Quote, they said you have a warrant," said Engels. "They let me off 3 times out of 3. He said he remains in South Dakota. Quote, "I'm still fluid, I'm still mobile, and I'm where I need to be," said Engels. "I'll come back when I see that it's fit for me to come back. This whole idea that I'm running away is silliness. I'm not running away." A spokesperson for the Ninth Circuit did not clarify whether the court was truly interested in apprehending Engels. Quote, "The case before Judge Craner is a civil matter," wrote Director of Court Programs.
Well, and see, you don't even need to finish. Do you know what that communicates to me? Pussy, faggot. So here's one thing. We call it Bonnie Boy or Johnny Boy or something. I found it at a like a secondhand store. So we don't need to see all of it at this moment. But
oh, you went out again. You touched something. You touched something.
I have no clue what we're getting ready to
I think he's touched on a few things.
Oh, yeah. Just a few? Just a few.
I wanted to ask him, like, how far removed is all this from Trump? I mean, shit, he's pretty much named everybody that's around him.
Yeah, and Trump is my guy. You know what I mean?
all right, guys.
Yeah. And now you're back.
They're just coming in. but we call this thing. Look, it's fun. You go here. Look, it goes pee-pee.
Oh shit!
It goes pee-pee into the thing.
A pea statue. What is that?
And it's called pee-pee. And maybe people can talk to Reslan Slami, and maybe they can talk to a few other people who have pee-pee tape, and the pee-pee tape does exist. But I guess we just move on from
Which
that.
PP tape were you referring to?
I think we all know what the pee-pee tape is.
No.
And I've seen it, and everyone, again, if I've not provided enough crazy and enough independent verification in what I have said that will be sent to you immediately after this that you can document, I don't know what else to do at this point, because everyone else has party. My party has been over for 7 years. I never really had party. So now I'm having my party of pain for you, people who have ruined this goddamn country. You promised to be traditionalists, Catholics. You promised to be members of the faith. You framed yourselves as Knights Templars. You framed yourself as Joan of Arc or something. Though I think that was kind of gay, in my opinion. But so what do we want? What is a boy to do? And I'll leave you with these two final statements. The homosexualist, commonly known as Nicholas J. Fuentes.
Now hold on 1 second.
Yes.
You've said that word a few times. Be clear about what you mean by that. Homosexualists. What do you mean by that when you're
So there's a difference.
Obviously, yeah.
There's a difference between men who happen to like having sex with other men, and maybe not all the time. They could be bisexual. They could, but a homosexualist is somebody that is in league with and has participated in Ali Alexander's procurement and illegal sexual activities forced on young men, dating back many years. And look, Brother Fuentes was violated himself by, we call it Sammy Davis Jr. We remember what this guy looks like? Sammy Davis Jr., Ali Alexander. Well, you raped two of my friends, and they come to me, and I'm coming and I'm cleaning up all your messes, and the determination has been made time and time again. Well, you told me that you would stop your behavior, that we will focus on saving this country, but that's where I'm like the worst grifter or corrupticon ever, is because the church and the priest and the faith and the Catholic doctrine tell me if somebody says that they will stop a behavior or they will move forward in a just and righteous way aligned with the faith, then you have to give them an opportunity. And they've stolen the march on me, because I give opportunity, and then every time I've done that, and it kind of, there's an old quote, it's called magical realism, to describe what's happened in Colombia, especially during the years of Pablo Escobar. They said at first it started slow, and then it happened all at once.
Yeah.
So I gave these chances, and as soon as I did that, that showed them weakness, and then they usurped me. They are beggar kings. They're fake individuals. But when I gave that chance, based on what St. Peter and what Jesus recommended, that momentary millisecond of forgiveness, a mulligan for them, which I was never going to let them get off with everything else. It was, hey, maybe they are not held to account for 10 seconds, so that we can use their power to deal with the Marxist, pedophile, Epstein, global cabal operation. And then once that's dealt with, after that 10 seconds, I'll, unleash my broadsword and chop their head off too. So that's where we're at. And the final message, and I do have to go after this, is Brandon Straka, your mouth will stop running. And Milo Yiannopoulos, you will be reported to the Department of Justice for selling the Roger Stone jury questionnaire to faggot Jacob Wall and faggot Jack Berkman, whoever the guy with his flies open during some press conference. And at the end of the day, you can ask your friend Chadwick Moore about Hotel Room. You can ask yourself about what you did with Joel Greenberg. It's called Heathrow, Florida. What's happening with Joel Greenberg there, Milo? You can ask yourself many, 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 many things. And the two people I'd like to acknowledge, and then I'm getting off this phone, is Peter Sorge, Peter Pedophile Sorge of Florida Politics. That's one. People can look it up. It's called peterpedo.com.
I hear him on the fucking radio all the time, by the way.
He's a rapist, and he is a pedophile. He's a pederast. And actually, there are three people now that will be thanked, because this cannot just be a festival of hate. There has to be some niceties here. Rick Singh, the former property appraiser in Orange County, Florida, a Democrat, who they used similar tactics against to get him out of office, because before it was cool to take on Disney, he gets elected as a Democrat, and he says, fuck you, Disney. You're not getting special tax breaks. Eat shit, Universal. Eat shit, SeaWorld. And they destroyed his life. I will thank Corey Mills, and that might not be a popular opinion right now, but there's a clear distinction of when he started talking about black budget in subcommittee, when he started talking about foreign aid in subcommittee, in private conversations, then all of a sudden, oh my God, Corey likes to be a red-blooded American male, and he missed rent 1 month, and guys, yet George Santos gets to go around and engage in these disgusting acts that are non-consensual, but he was lucky enough to get wrapped up in his own financial schemes and crimes to get booted from Congress for that. So guys, this is a day of reckoning, and this day will be long and everlasting. And if you really want to know where I am, here it is, boys and girls. It's called Riverfall. It's called Riverfall, Wisconsin. So if you want to say Jacob's too much of a pussy to say where he is, we'll do a duel on Main Street. That's okay. So, am I serious enough, boys and girls?
I think you're serious.
That'll
Yeah.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. Babe, that's a great film.
Shit.
Wow,
Yeah.
Because
That's
look,
a lot of shit.
it's a lot of shit. But, at the
You
end of the
don't
day,
say.
at the end of the day, it won't just be me, because me and me alone, and this little, it's not like Lindsey Graham's perverted pink wand of perversion. This is called the paddle of purity. But it's called CZ75. It's called Remington 12 gauge tactical pump action, and that's just me. But I guess allegedly, yeah, I don't even know what those are. They fell off the boat when I was down on the Keys.
Is the Grifters Olympics a real thing? Like, are you?
It is. This is why I'm doing it. This is my outburst to say, you people have stolen enough sexually, financially, spiritually from this movement. So grifterolympics.com. And good.
Yeah.
So let's end this call with the fact that you can come see me, and if you didn't see me, then I wasn't on the dance floor. That's called Junior Dale Earnhardt. It's a great song. But guys, come to Papa. You can deal with the Hells Angels. Okay. Oopsies. You can deal with the Warlocks. Oopsies. You can deal with the Mongols. Oopsies. You can even deal with a couple of, the black biker gangs too, because at the end of the day, I've maintained relationships with all of these people. And that's because they have seen
How
over
else
the
do you get
years.
your meth?
Well, how? Yeah, exactly. They call it crank. They call it
Yeah.
speed or something. But that's not even the point. The point is they do not see me as somebody that backs down. And I've got my shit rocked a couple of times, a lot of times actually. But I don't have a double jointed pussy event like Savannah Hernandez and need all of this money for it. I get up, just like in DC outside of Rogers trial, I get my shit rocked. And I ran my mouth. I was sick of this lesbian parade of Antifa walking around. And I, got it's like Jurassic Park. This lesbian spit in my face, spit in the face. And then she hit me. And then they jumped on and just fucking rocked me. Well, all I needed, ladies and gentlemen, was a couple of shots of Fireball, the lemon tea mixed drink from Linda at Harry's, and a little bit of cocaine. And I was fine. So I didn't have double jointed pussy event that will last from now until the end of time to grift and earn money because that's called standing on business. I don't need the money I never have from politics. I'm a little bit of a, you could call it psychotic because they're already going to say it's psychotic. So is it psychotic? Is it psychotic, Laura Loomer, that you have infected the president with your inflamed grape clitoris? Is it psychotic that the president is worried about Scott Pressler's demonic phallus harming Melania and Barron? And most importantly, harming him. He doesn't know what a phallus is. And then it's demonic. It's scaring the shit out of him. So what else do you think you can say? Oh, I'm not white? I bet, wrong. That I'm gay? Well, yeah, I already admitted that. So what avenues do you think you have? You have none. You should have watered this plant. And when it's saying being watered, that's not even meaning money. I am so psychotic, apparently, that when I tell Matt Gaetz all I want is a taped 5-minute apology from you that I will view. It'll be a disappearing message. I won't record it. I've never broken faith in 20 years, but you will lower your station and you won't even give that. Fuck off. And now, are you alive or dead? Well, I'm actually very alive. My heart. This is just it's gonna be called Depeche Mode. It's gonna be called Blue Monday. It's gonna be called Tears for Fears. And actually, one of my favorites, um, and one of the other people who have been supporting is Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy
Too
for my
sexy for your
shoes.
love. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. Have you seen what they've been doing, standing up over in Europa,
Oh,
against this
no.
invasion? So I'm just going to, I want to listen to. It's called The Nails, 88 lines about 44 women, and then I'm going to listen to Too Short. These are the tales, the freaky tales. These are the tales that I tell so well. But that's all I can do. I think I provided enough entertainment. And guess what?
Oh.
This is a show that is free and will continue as long as I want because now everyone's been called on the carpet. So either you're big bad people, you can talk to my great uncle Eric Prince, who's being a faggot right now as well, or you can talk to anybody else. But I've never been controlled by you. I've tolerated you. I have let you run roughshod over me. Now I will run roughshod and I'm going to have so much fun. And the bun's in the oven, and the fun is coming, and you will have your comeuppance, ladies and gentlemen. There once was a boy named Jake Williams. Or how about we do Bane? I think Bane is a good way to end the program. Welcome to my city. I am in control now. Your time of depravity and debauchery, ruling over the working class, is over. We are in control of the city. Fuck off. You guys have been great. You're incredibly brave. And now I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
Right on, Jacob.
Thank you.
I'm going to go get
All right.
into the rest of this battle of vodka. And the babies I'm eating, and, Hillary Clinton's twat that I'm licking, and Huma Abedin, or whatever the hell else I'm doing, because I'm just so addicted to it. And you guys have shot your shot. Now, public shame and embarrassment will be happening to you. And I don't care if faggots over at Mother Jones put it up, or CNN puts it up, or there's some double jointed pussy event where somebody else puts it up. But the shame will be there. And there will be days, if not weeks, quite frankly, of Jacob's lost his mind. He's crazy. Look at him. Crash out, crash out. Because even the Democrats, even the liberals who want these people destroyed, are so involved in their endless grift that they don't want to give me credit for a little shirtless event. I mean, what's was it Silence of the Lambs? It puts the lotion on the skin. It puts the lotion on the skin. Quiet. I'd fuck me. Would you fuck me? How much crazier can I get, you idiots? Stand up for the children in this country. Stand up for the faith of St. Peter. Stand up for a goddamn something. Or the homosexualist, the Jacob Engels, who say I'm homosexualist when I'm not. I'm just a man who happens to like having sex with other men, who has a child who he's taking
Yeah, that's
care of.
gay, but yeah.
It's gay. It's gay, but you know what? I just you talk.
Yeah, you're gay. Yeah, that's who you are.
No, why are you gay? Why are you gay?
You don't know. Born that way, I don't know.
Why? See, they're gay. They do a poop eating. There is a poop eating, and you see right now. I hope there are not children in the room. Children need to move away from this laptop. But
we didn't even get into James O'Keefe and shit.
oh, James
But
O'Keefe
maybe
is a
that's-
rapist.
yeah.
James O'Keefe can talk about Mamaroneck. He can talk about 12
Allegedly,
countries.
no,
He
yeah,
can talk
yeah.
about 3 continents. James O'Keefe, you sent Matthew Timmerand, your mortal sworn enemy who took Project Veritas away from you to offer me bribe. You sent Noel Fritch, who is allowing his children to be around these pederasts and having anal stretching events. That's what you guys are more concerned about. Lower your station. My cost is and has always been some goddamn fucking humility. So please go out there and say, oh, can you believe Jacob wanted an apology? How dare he? He's worse than me, Noel Fritch, and Patrick Howley coming together and allowing people to anally enter and stretch minors around us. And then Scott Pressler, hey everybody, it's me, Scott, Big Bird, it's me, anal traffic cone. So I've expended enough energy, and I'm going to just have some fun. So I suggest we get some amazing clips clipped out. And it has to
I
be
got like
brutal.
3 pages written down.
It has to be brutal. It has to be effective because you see, kind of like the anal stretching.
Yeah,
But that's just for the
I see
beginners.
it.
That's for the
Alright.
beginners because then they do Mr. Hands.
Yeah.
With Noel Fritch, he does Mr. Hands. So you guys have.
Let's clip it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will
it's
clip
really
it up and
actually,
I'll send you
I'm
everything,
sorry.
man.
I'm sorry. As a victim's advocate and somebody who's been victimized, now I'm realizing the filth that I've exposed people to tonight, and people are going to need counseling all around the country, or whomever is brave enough to watch this. And I guess I have to live with that too. But I think we should end with a prayer. Would anybody like to do a prayer? Because that will center us all. Because this has been a filthy discussion, and that's my fault. But it can end in a clean way.
It is. I believe in God, but I'm not religious. Somebody else has to do that prayer. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, he's gonna do it. We're just gonna join and listen.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. So because we have multiple faiths and denominations here, I won't do Catholic prayer because that's rude. Lord Jesus, give us the strength now in this moment, not just to Brother Jacob, who has clearly reached a breaking point, but to the people who have been brave enough to give him this platform and to allow his insane mind is what people will say to be exposed to the world. When we fight against the enemies of Christ, when we war against Satan, when we war against the demons of hell, people are not allowed to have humility or pride or ego. And now Jacob has none of that humility, pride, or ego. And if we want to get into the esoteric part of it, Jesus Christ, flying spaghetti monster, that cow, that poop and Ramaswamy.
This is the funniest prayer I've heard. Yeah.
You know, we just have to realize that there are core tenets and functions. Do we want ethics? Do we want morals? Lord. Do we want children to not be raped? Lord. Do we want our wives, our sons, and our daughters to grow up in a better world than we have experienced? Yes, we do, Lord. Flying spaghetti monster, poop hand, cow, person. And now, here in this moment, we will end this prayer, and I will end it in the Catholic way because we're just going to have to deal with it. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And what was it? Principles of lust. Or, what is that song? It's a great one. Everybody should look it up. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night and watch Narcos again and probably The Wire. So, have a good night, brothers and sisters.
Right on, Jacob.
All right, Jacob.
See you later. This was amazing. Go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. You got Phone Booth and the merch. And then also go to Phone Booth Podcast on Spotify. Check it out, video and audio. And then also go to canambullion.com to get gold, silver, platinum, gold, coins, bars, and bullion, and all bullion. That good. And bullion. Very important stuff. Get it while the price is good. canambullion.com. I repeat, canambullion.com. Go there right now.
Go and have a shower, you dirty fucks. All right.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Good night, everybody. I'm going to go rethink my life, but that was
yeah, me too.
And be on the lookout, y'all. There's probably going to be more clips than Rambo.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be clips out of this
clips,
one.
Man.
Yeah, that's a character right there.
Great conversation. I'm going to be thinking about this for a while. All right. Good night, everybody.
Shower time.
Peace out.